Hey you guys, Nathan back with another video. Today I want to share with you guys a product review and a product photography kind of tips and tricks. So I wanted to be able to talk to you guys about the microphone I've been using, which is the TONOR TC30. And I've used this microphone for about a month now, and I think that it's a great mic for the money. Comes out to be about $30 on Amazon. And the reason why I like it so much is because it's extremely simple, and it's something that I think a lot of people would rather get than maybe some of the popular options of the blue snowball ice, and maybe a lot simpler options rather than something expensive like a audio interface along with an XLR mic, and then of course with a pop filter as well, which could range you anywhere from $80 up to as much as you want to pay. So this microphone I was actually given, and it was because the company reached out to me and said, hey, we'd love for you to do a review of this product, for you to give your honest thoughts on it, and we'll send it out and you'll be able to take a look at it. You'll be able to keep it after you're done with it. So for myself, I wanted to do my best to keep this as honest of a review as possible. And for me, I thought, okay, how's it going to compare with the snowball ice? But after a lot of use of it, I said, hey, this microphone sounds great. You know, it's probably right around comparable with the snowball ice. But what really makes this microphone special is how simple it is and how compact you're able to get it. So in the box, you get the stand for this microphone, and in the product photos we'll be able to take a closer look at all those things. But you have the stand, it works pretty good. It also has a universal mount, so then if you have something like this, which is what I actually put on it later, it's just a Proline little mic stand that I have here, a desk mic stand. It helps to keep it more stable on the desk, so I have that and I put it on there. But this works totally fine. It has an adjuster where you're able to adjust it up and down to whatever position you want. You're able to lock it off wherever you want it. And then the microphone is connected by USB-C, which is what I think most people are wanting devices to be set up with as far as for the port. USB-C is going to be so much simpler moving forward rather than getting something like the Snowball Ice, where you're going to be using a USB-B port, and that's going to be the same thing you normally hook up a printer for and all that. It's that kind of USB connection. Bulkier, heavier, and also something that, you know, if you lose the cable, it's very likely you don't really have a bunch of those laying around unless you just hoard tech stuff, kind of like myself. So nonetheless, this mic also has a pop filter on it. It's built in to the microphone itself, pop filter. And I have a pop filter right here. I spent about $10 on Amazon for this guy, and it works great. You gotta connect it to this blue snowball. You gotta like wrap it around and like, you know, all this stuff. But at the end of the day, it ends up making it a bulkier unit and something that isn't as helpful as I would want it to be. And then another reason why I really like this is because it has a built-in shock mount. A shock mount is to be able to help if you bump the mic or something like that, where it won't make a super loud sound. So if you're on a stream or if you're recording and you bump it, it won't be a, oh man, that's going to be really annoying for anyone who's listening to that. Instead, it's going to be, you know, not the best, but it's not going to be a deal breaker or something where you want to re-record that part of the video. On my AT2020 microphone that I have in my office that hooks up to an audio interface and ends up being a lot more of an expensive setup, I have a shock mount on there and it's great. And the fact that this comes with it and I don't have to go on and buy something extra or end up with something that makes it a bulkier unit, I think it's so much better than some of these other options out there. And for $30, I don't think you can beat it, in my personal opinion. So that's kind of my thoughts on this unit. There's not a ton more in there except for a 2-year warranty and a manual that also shares with you, you know, how to use it, how to set it up. If you guys have questions on that, definitely put in the comments below if you have any, you know, additional thoughts. But let's hop into the product photography here. I got a couple of good shots of it. I didn't take forever on them, but let's just take a second to look at these real quick. So A few photos here. We're kind of just going to look at some of the best ones because I took some that were low light and it didn't turn out as well. So one thing that I like to do with product photography, if I'm going to then post a bunch of photos or if I'm going to put it up on Amazon where I'm writing my review, maybe adding my video along with it, I want to be able to have just a picture of me holding the box so people can see, hey, the box, what did it come with, and everything like that. You could also open up the box and show what's inside, but this one is so straightforward. I didn't even do a photo of the insides of the box. Next, I wanted to do kind of a dynamic photo of it. So, you know, one of my photos that I did a little while ago, which was so much fun, was this one of me, you know, jumping into the air and catching that at that perfect moment. So in the same vein of that, I thought, whoa, I could do that as well. And the results weren't the greatest. I tried to drop it, and I did get one photo where it is dropping out of the sky. It's kind of suspended in air, but I chose to do it inside, and it wasn't a very well-lit environment, so it ended up being kind of grainy and didn't end up being the best setup for that. But you know, sometimes dynamic photos can really help to make a product photography photo of a product pop and really be a solid thing to say, hey, take a look at this. I remember when I got my ukulele for the first time and I was able to balance it up on a table and take a shot of it just balancing in midair. That was really fun. I didn't have to do any editing with it, and you know, a lot of people liked it because it was kind of unique. Find some unique way to showcase the photo. Next, you could do some kind of top-down look where you're able to just take it and then you're able to put kind of complementing items around it. So like if I were to do that and take a lot of time to do a top-down lay, I would maybe put my headphones, because it's microphone, it's audio, put my headphones there. Maybe I put a camera there as well, or something like that. I could put a pop filter, I could put my old mic, I could put different things there to help add to the aesthetics of the unboxing there. So that's something that I would also recommend. Here's a few of the better photos that I took. So here's one where it showcases the brand as best as possible, because unfortunately the logo on the side of here, I don't know why they did it, but the logo on the side right here, the problem that it is that it's actually covered up. I don't know if they meant to do that, if it's supposed to slide maybe a bit more or something, but it's just not the best marketing for their logo on the side there. But you do have their name, TONOR, however you want to pronounce it. It's right there, and I think that makes it look really good. Also has that product in the background. Definitely remember, as minimalistic of a background as possible is probably good, unless if each of those elements in the background are actually adding to what that photo is. So if I did put, you know, that mic stand, that microphone, my headphones in the background, I want to have them kind of lined up nicely or in a thought out way, instead of maybe in this photo where, yeah, I have mics and I have some different things in the back, but it's kind of jumbled. I could have done maybe a much better job by doing that. Nonetheless, I think this photo is one that would work really well, and I think that what I would do here is I would go to maybe a crop by a 1-to-1 ratio, and I would do that, and it kind of takes away some of the other jumbled stuff. And like this shot right here, you end up with that mic right there in the foreground, and then background you could see this blue snowball mic out of focus, kind of showing the, hey, switching from one to the other, which one do I think is the best? So that's just a thought there. Another photo here, this one looks really good as well, kind of the same thought process as well, whatever kind of setup you'd like, but you could crop it out and you can have one, you got the mic, and then you have that in the background. I think pretty cool. This also is one where you could really see those feet and how they're set up, and I really like how they're done. I almost wish that it was a bit lower, like on the blue snowball, it's a bit lower to the ground, makes it so it doesn't feel like it's going to tip over as much, where this one, I could see it tipping over maybe a little bit more, but I don't think that's a deal breaker for you. And personally, I would rather have something that's firm, that will actually stay on my desk a whole lot better. So that's just my personal opinion on that. You can see where we have that little turn knob where you're able to adjust to the different size. You can see here where you have the logo that gets kind of cut off. I don't know why exactly they did it that way, but then you can see this pop filter, and what it does is you can take it off, but you can also put it on. And I think that's a really neat thing for them to be able to put in to a product like that. And it just saves so much space. It's so good for them to do it that way. Okay, so with that being said, we have another photo. This is the same one, but the other direction. It just depends on what you want in your photo. This is probably the winner of the day. This photo is the highlight. So basically, I could do stuff with the sides here to maybe make it look better or something, but in my personal opinion, you could do 1-to-1. You could do a lot of different things, but you might do 1-to-1. I did like 3x5, or not 3x5, but 3x4, 4x3. Just this tall one. Yeah, and you get that in there. I can use that spot healing tool and just remove that little bit that's left over there. And then it's just a matter of adjusting colors, sliders, trying to figure out what looks best, what would look really good, and trying to figure that stuff out. But in my personal opinion, this mic is a solid setup. It's not, completely built out of metal and it's a total tank, but I think that it's something that for $30 is a really good option. So you guys, hopefully this was helpful for you guys. I try to stick with some photo editing in even these product tutorial videos because I think it actually helps out for you guys to be able to see more of the product, but also being able to look at it and say, hey, if you need audio, whether it's for a video conference call, whether it's for some Skype call, Zoom call, or different things with so many people staying home nowadays and working from home, I think getting a mic like this would be one of the simplest ways to increase your audio quality, something where you can get it a lot higher quality without having to go out and buy a lot of extra stuff. And also something that ends up being versatile, where even if you lose the cable, I think you're still going to be able to have another one with the phones that you have, with different devices you have nowadays, instead of where you're at with something like this, which at this point, this is an aged out product. You're going to have to either spend more, and we're talking about $60, $80, $100 versus something that could be a very good budget option. So that's my personal take. It's the mic I am personally using, and that is my pure and honest opinion. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.